Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another edition of What's Happening Now with CNL Solutions. As always, remember to like, share, and comment on this broadcast live, as there could be some information here not only useful to yourself, but hopefully useful to others as well. Tonight's broadcast is being brought to you by Hello Guest Screen. Hello Guest Screen offers an easy way to personalize your Airbnb properties TV screens with custom images and dynamic calendar-driven guest information with all essential information for them upon arrival. Okay. Also, don't forget, we got coming up in the month of March, we're going to have our Somebody Loves You event at the Robert Bob Harrison Senior Center. We got some talent going on. We're going to have Dr. Karak Watkins there speaking to the message. We got Miss Sharonica Underwood who's going to do a soloist for us along with Randy Gaines. And we have Miss Angela Lovelady, who will be doing a piece on women's history. All right, so don't forget to tune into that. All right, that's going to be at the Robert Bob Harrison Center on 28 March 2024 from 11 to 1 p.m. Also, keeping in mind, we do have our 7 and 7 baby shower still going on. We still are taking donations for the 7 and 7 community baby shower. If you had not had a chance to donate, if you had not had a chance to send in anything, please, you still got time. The baby shower will be on the 25th of May, but we're going to be accepting donations and gently used items all the way up until May 1st. And that's when we'll go ahead and open up the registration to go ahead and bring everyone in. So speaking about baby showers and things of that nature, we have a special guest here tonight that I want to introduce everybody to, the CEO, Mr. Juan Irby. He is the CEO of Dad To Dudla. Juan, welcome.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
So I tell you what, I'm excited about this because you're brand new, you're fresh, and I've never heard of this before. And there might be someone out there who's watching this who may not have heard of it. So talk to our viewers, what is Dad To Dudla?
So Dad To Dudla is a organization where I help men to become fathers. So my motto is your journey to fatherhood starts here, and don't be a dud. Let this dude help you be a dad. And so Dad To Dudla came about in 2021 where I wanted men to have a voice. I wanted them to be seen. And I wanted to make sure that they didn't have to go through the birthing process or the postpartum process alone. So, and that's where Dad To Dudla came.
I tell you what, so we talk about the birthing process and we talk about postpartum. Now, me, I'm accustomed to hearing about women going through postpartum, and I get that. But how does a man go through postpartum? How does that affect us? I mean, I've had a few kids myself. They're not kids right now, but hey, I've had some kids, and I didn't have a doula for myself and their mom at the time. What does a man actually go through? How is it different, or is it the same?
So it's a little bit different, but also it's the same. So with men, we go through hormonal changes as well, and our testosterone levels kind of drop. And that causes us to feel some kind of way. And so just to bring it home, my wife and I, we were pregnant with our son, and we found out that, we're going to have a baby. As most men, I want to be the best dad. I want to do this. I want to do that. And so just trying to be prepared for that moment. So that moment came, but COVID had just kind of hit, and I had a job at the time that wasn't taking COVID that serious. They were like, come in, close the door, and don't worry about it. I'm like, don't worry about it. Like, what's going on? So just by once we had our baby, I kind of fell into a depressive state where I didn't want to go out the house. I didn't want to do anything. I don't want to hang out with my friends. And those are some of the signs of postpartum depression, where you're like you're feeling irritable. You kind of don't want to eat. Um, you're just feeling like, ugh, like why, you know? But luckily, I got help at the time, and my wife, she would come up there and bring the baby up there, and we would have lunch in the car versus having lunch in the cafeteria where I was working. We would FaceTime and have lunch together as well. And so just by doing those small things kind of pulled me out of that depressive state. And I didn't want men to go through that alone. So we moved to North Carolina in the middle of COVID, and we invited some friends over for a barbecue. And I've always had a niche for people, and I just didn't know what it was at the time. And so a friend of ours was like, "You will be a good postpartum doula." So I looked it up. I was like, you know what? I'm signing up. I went to the classes. Boom, I'm a postpartum doula. I was my wife's postpartum doula. And I was like, you know what? I have to learn more. So I became a birth doula as well. And so I was like, you know what? I have to learn more. So I became a new parent educator because I want to educate not just women, but men as well, that they can do this. Like, you can also be a part of this birthing space, this birthing community. And also, dads, I want you to have a voice and a say so for your partner, your spouse, your girlfriend, whoever is giving birth throughout this whole entire thing.
Okay, so that kind of plays into like what we spoke about before the live, when I said, so you stand in the gap as a dad advocacy when it comes to the child birthing process, the labor, delivery, and post delivery. And one of the biggest things that stuck out with me was when you was like, absolutely, because we have the stigmatism from our older folks where only women, and you're like, oh no, dad's gonna be in here.
Exactly.
Talk with our audience a little bit more about how you advocate for fathers, especially when it comes to being a birth or postpartum doula and having him be a part of the start to finish of his child's delivery into the world.
Yeah, certainly. Like, I am a dadvocate, I like to call it.
I like that word.
I'm a dadvocate. And so from the start, I want to make sure that dad and mom have a birth plan. So how do you want your birth to go? How do you want it to be? Who do you want to be in the birthing space? Like, who do you want in this room or wherever you're going to be giving birth? You don't want to bring any kind of negative energy into that sacred space.
Absolutely.
And so now you are forming up a plan. You're forming a team of, okay, I want my doula, my midwife, my wife, my husband. I also want maybe one other person in there. I want music. I want aromatherapy. Or do I want candles? Or do I want this? Or do I want that? Just by having those small things will make a big outcome. And so just by having those small things, whether you're in a hospital room, you can bring in lights. You can bring in aromatherapy. You can't bring in candles because of sprinklers, of course. But bring in those things that's going to make your hospital room home. That's going to make it feel like your room. So as for my wife, I brought in her own pillow, her own blanket. I brought in her lights. I brought in aromatherapy. I brought in music. Create a jamming playlist, and just by being in there, being in the atmosphere, is definitely going to make your partner feel so relaxed in that moment. And also with your birthing plan, do you want a vaginal birth? Do you want to give birth in the bed? Do you want to give birth on a birthing stool? Do you want to give birth backwards? Like, you don't have to give birth in the traditional sense of laying on your back.
Mm-hmm.
You can give birth in different ways. And so that's just something small for the birth plan, and also for the postpartum plan. Who do you want in your house afterwards?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want someone in there to who's going to do the dishes, who's going to not just hold the baby, because mom and dad can hold the baby.
Mm-hmm.
I need someone who's going to come in there and wash the dishes, fold the clothes, walk the dog, make some food. If everybody can't cook, that's fine. DoorDash is here, Uber Eats is here. Y'all can do all that stuff. So just by doing those small things can definitely play a major role in birth and postpartum.
That's really great, because Mr. Charles, you actually should have did what Juan did about 4 or 5 years ago, because you was actually a great doula during the birth of your grandson. We didn't have the candles and everything, but he definitely had the most jamming playlist out there.
Oh yeah.
And it was just one time, but we're not going to disclose that. But definitely the support. I love the idea of incorporating the men more into the birthing process. Just like you stated earlier, he helped create the baby. Why can't he help be here when the baby comes? But I really, 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 I just love that that's the avenue that we're taking when it comes to new age with birthing and delivery. And I'm like, everybody else out here, I wish this was here.
Yep.
Years ago when I started to make children and have my babies, because this would have been something that I believe the my kid's dad would have definitely benefited from.
Yeah.
So we got a question from one of the viewers. They want to know. That says, do you have to inform the hospitals before your due date that you're wanting to bring that stuff to the hospital?
You don't, because whatever is in your birthing bag, your hospital bag, that's what you take in there. So you can bring whatever you want, except the candles, into that room, like to make it your own home, make it personal.
Okay, I got someone here, some Valerie. She says the hospital usually allows you to bring what you want or need to your room. So that's that. Now I tell you what, Juan. Let's get down to it, dog. Let's get to the nitty gritty about this, right?
All right.
So I am the manly man, right? I'm the guy that likes to eat rocks and chew on tree bark, just to get my kicks off, right? How do you convince someone like me that I need to have a doula, that I'm going through postpartum depression like this, where I don't need all that, especially in the African American community. We're all so anti getting therapy help, seeing a psychologist. How do you convince me that I need a doula?
Okay, so first things first. Don't think of me as your doula. Think of me as your fitness coach. Think of me as your personal coach. I'm about to give you these tools. I'm about to show you how to lift these weights. I'm about to give you everything that you need to build up your mental capacity, your physical capacity to help out the birthing person. So I'm your fitness coach, not your doula. So now I want you to think about, okay, what tools do I need to help out my partner who's giving birth? Whether it's a cold rag, you're not just going to get a rag and give it to your partner. I need for you to wet it with cold water and gently lay it either on her forehead or on the back of her neck. Those simple things, yes, you are a manly man, but at the same time, I need for you to be the manly man here in this room to support your spouse, your partner, so that way they're not another statistic.
Okay, we got a question here from another one of the viewers. It says, what is the fee for doulas?
So fees, well, different doulas have different fees. They can range from 25, well, it all depends from like her birth they can range from $800 to $2,500. Or like for postpartum, they can range from $25 an hour up to $45 an hour.
Mm-hmm. All right. So again, what you have parents or you have those parents or those grandparents who may say, well, this space is reserved for us women. The man should not be there, and my grandparents had 11 kids and 12 kids, and the man was always out in the field working or doing whatever he was doing while she gave birth to all 11 of her kids. Mm-hmm. How do you address something like that now in today's age when you have those people who are still around, those type of parents are still around that believes that that is a feminine space and only the woman should be there?
So this goes back to the birth plan. Who do you want in this room, in this space, that's definitely going to help you throughout this process? If you want your mom in this space, if you want, your grandmother in this space, that's fine. But you and your partner need to talk it over and say, hey, who do we want in this space? Not just you, because I'm having a baby too. This is our child, not just yours, but this is our child. So we are having a baby, so we need to make these decisions together. Mm-hmm. We need grandma, mom to be on the same page. If not, if they're going to bring stress, guess what? You can kick them out of the room. And as the parent of this said almost newborn child, that's my responsibility to take care of my partner, my wife, my spouse, to make sure that they are okay, that they're not in any kind of distress, that they're not hurting, so that way we can have a safe delivery for this baby.
That's good. So, in your professional opinion, or in your industry, how many male doulas are there actually out there?
Mm-hmm. So there are a handful of Black male doulas out there. I know there's some in Philly, there's some in DC, there's some in Texas, there's some in California, there's some in Florida, and so also there's some in Atlanta, and now I'm here in Alabama. Okay. And so just to make sure that dads have that voice, that dads can be seen during this process. And so it's only a handful of us, but we all talk. We all are in the same line of work, so that way we can do the same thing across the board.
All right. We got another question here from one of the viewers. It says, is there a disadvantage in having a doula?
There may be just a little bit. And when I say that, you have to mesh with your doula. Mm-hmm. You have to make sure that that person is right for you and your family. I have had people who say, okay, I don't want him in the birthing space, but he will be a good postpartum doula. And that's completely fine. And so by me not being in that birthing space, I understand that they're not comfortable with a male being in that room. Mm-hmm. And I'm completely fine. But I will be a good postpartum doula, and I can teach dad how to do these things, like how to swaddle, how to nurture and care for your baby, how to change a diaper. And so just to teach dad those things while at home, while being your postpartum doula, mom's gonna be like, oh wow, like this is great for him. And then that's how your name starts to spread out there. Like, I had Juan as my postpartum doula. He's great. I had Juan as my postpartum doula. Oh, I'll give Juan a chance to be my birthing doula. Mm-hmm. And so just by coaching dad to do those comfort measures while in the birthing room, that's that's good, and so you have to, those are just kind of some of the disadvantages of having a doula.
Okay. Got a couple more questions here. Says, how do you approach the patient with your offer? Ooh, that's a good one.
All right. So how do I approach them? So if they want a doula and I reach out to them, and if they respond, then I will tell them, hey, let's sit down and have a talk. And just so that way I can get a feel for them and they can get a feel for me, because they may like me, but I may feel something that's not right with them. So you may have to talk to them on more than one occasion to say, hey, so basically it's a interview process. You have to interview your doula. You have to like pick and choose your doula. Like, okay, do I want this doula over here, or do I want this doula over here? Do I want to give this person a try? Do I want to give that person a try? So just approaching them with kindness, non-biases, going in there and just being your true, authentic self.
All right, cool. Got another question here. The young lady says, is what is the difference in a doula and a midwife?
All right. So a doula is someone who's going to be there for you physically, mentally, and emotionally throughout the birthing and postpartum process. A midwife can actually deliver a baby. Doulas, we cannot deliver babies. So that's your big difference between a doula and a midwife.
Okay. And we got another question here. It says, what are the training and certifications requirements to become a doula?
So each organization has different requirements. So I went through DONA and Kappa to get my trainings. And so you would have to go through a number of births, a number of hours of postpartum. You have to you got to do some paperwork, some essays, like a small book report. But just by doing that, they want to make sure that you know the knowledge that you are that they are giving to you.
Okay. Another question we got here. It says, can you cancel your doula at any time, and do you still have to pay?
So, excuse me. Once you sign that contract, most doulas are going to require a retainment, or not a retainment, a deposit, and it's going to be a non-refundable deposit. And you can cancel your doula before you make that deposit. But just know, if you hire your doula and you cancel them, you will not get your deposit back. So just putting it out there.
All right. So what is the right, I should say, client for a doula? Is there a specific type of person, a type of woman that would make great, that need a doula? Like if you take someone like Brittany, who has multiple children, above 5, would she need a doula on that 6th one? And what makes for a great client?
I think all women should have a doula. All women should have an advocate. All women should have someone to firmly stand in their corner during the birthing process, to make sure that the doctors, the nurses aren't doing things behind their back. And especially if you're having a hospital birth and your doula is well known in said hospital, they know that, hey, Juan is not going to come up here and play no games. Juan is about business. He's going to make sure that his patients, his clients are well taken care of. And also, you have to have a good relationship with the nurses and doctors as well. And as a doula, you don't want to come in there and be like, nope, this is my client. They want this, and this. Like, you can't come in there guns a blazing. You have to talk to them. So just giving them some type of leniency as well. So just doing that.
Okay. So we got another question here. It says, what agency actually gives you the permission or / license to practice?
Okay. So you have the doula organization. And once you become a doula, you can start practicing then. So once you have completed the training, you're a doula. So you can start practicing then in order to get your certification. So you have to have at least 3 births. You have to have a certain number of hours for postpartum. And then, or if you're having trouble finding clients, you can go with a doula agency. So a doula agency has clients already who are ready to, hire a doula or ready to hire a postpartum doula. And that can give you the practice there and also the hours for you becoming a certified doula.
All right. Man, I had a question, but one of the other questions. We got another question here. Do doulas help make decisions?
So if it's in the birthing room, we will help advocate for you, or we will show you how to advocate for yourself. And so we will help your partner to advocate for you. But if you need help with almost anything, just say, hey, what are your thoughts on this? What's your take on this? And so we can give our input, but we want to have you ultimately to make that decision.
So we got another question, and this kind of goes along what I was going to mention. It says, do doulas do interns? So before you answer that, my question is, when you said that you had to go through some classes and you had to start practicing, you had to have 3 childbirths before you can get your certification. How do you find those 3 childbirths? I mean, you just randomly ask people like, hey, can I come in and do a childbirth with you so I can get my certifications? How does that work?
So you have to start looking to see, okay, who's in the area that might want a doula. You may know a friend who's having a baby and ask them, hey, can I be your doula? You may know a friend of a friend, or your friend of a friend may know a friend. And so just going about it that way, or having that agency can come up and say, or going to that agency and say, hey, I'm a brand new doula. I just got done training and I want to work with you to get my certification. And there are some agencies out there that will definitely hire brand new doulas to get them experience to get their certifications.
All right. Got another question here from a young lady. She says, is there a place that I can go to see real reviews on specific doulas, like a Yelp review or Google review?
Yeah. So there's a website called Doula Match. You can also check doulas websites, because some of them may have the Google reviews. You may also check their websites on their website, because doulas may post their reviews from parents that they said, oh my goodness, there's another one. If I think of it, I will put it in the comments when I get back to it.
All right. So, and helping with postpartum depression, and you're wanting to be the advocate for the males who are going through postpartum depression. Have you run across, or has your organization run across somebody that was so far gone that they need more help than what you can offer as a doula?
Yes. So if they're a little bit further than we would like, we will definitely have them reach out to Postpartum Support International. And that's a organization where dads can get help, moms can get help. Um, whether you're going through postpartum depression, postpartum anxiety, postpartum psychosis, they have trained individuals there that can help you with all of those things. So Postpartum Support International is a great resource for someone who may be a little bit further than we can handle.
So how and on average, and maybe you can use yourself as an example of gone through postpartum depression. How long can that last? How long can a postpartum depression last for an individual, rather for it be for the mom or for the dad?
It depends on the person. You can have it for a week, you can have it for 2 weeks, you can have it for 2 months, or you can have it longer than that. So it's depending on the person and how they can get back into that normal state of feeling like themselves. And when I say that, what are some of the things that you used to do that you like to do? So you can do things like cooking their favorite meal, or having someone bring over their favorite snack, or having their friend come and sit with them. And also just by trying to lift them up, or like having a date night. If you're stressed out and mom is here, or dad is here, or grandma's here, grandma's there, have them come over and watch the baby while you guys go out and have a date night. So that way you're kind of getting back into that normal routine. And I don't want mom and dad to forget about themselves. So you have self-care versus self-maintenance. So self-maintenance is like, I had to take a shower. I have to, like I said, you got to take a shower. I got to wash my hair. Self-care is, I'm going to get my nails done. I'm going to go get my toes done. I'm going to get my hair done. So just by doing those things that you used to do, it's going to make you feel so much better.
All right. We got another question from another young lady here. It says, are doula services covered by most insurances? Oh, wow. I never thought about that.
They're covered by some insurances. I know they're working on TRICARE, if they haven't already gotten that already, and Medicaid or Medicare.
Okay. So in your experience, and since you've been doing this, what has been the age range that people really ask for a doula? Do you find like a 20-year-old asking for a doula, or do you mainly find those who are above the age of giving childbirth, asking for a doula?
So the ages, it varies. So you can have a teen mom and a teen dad, or you can have a 40-plus-year-old asking for a doula. So it doesn't matter the age. If they want a doula, I encourage them to get a doula.
Okay. Got another question here. It says, do doulas get background checks done?
You can ask for them to get a background check done, yes.
Okay. All right. That's good. That's good. So, and developing dads to doula or doula, what was that like for you when you developed that? Did your friends be like, man, I can't believe you're doing that? Or was there a lot of support, overwhelming support for that? Say, man, you're right. I wish I would have had you when I had Junior, because he drove me crazy and I just didn't want to do anything.
Yeah, so I've had a lot of support from my friends and family members. They were like, wow, like I've never heard of this before. So example, my mom, when I told her that I'd become a doula, my mom was like, what's that? I said, It's a person who's going to be there for you physically and mentally, emotionally throughout the whole entire birthing process. And she was like, huh, I never thought of that.
Mhm.
And so just by telling her that, that felt good, and telling my friends about what I'm doing, they're like, man, that's great. I wish I would have known about this a while ago. And also going into my profession now, people are like, wow, I wish I would have had you years ago when my first child was born. And so that lets me know that this is something that is needed, and that is still needed in today's community and society.
Mhm.
And you're right on that, because I mean, I think about it, and I'm sure some of the viewers and who's been in the chat been posing those questions. This is all new to me. I was kind of like your mom, like, what is that? What does that person do? What is it that he's doing that I can't do? You know what I mean? So I think that is awesome, and I hope a lot of mothers out there actually do take advantage of this and use them, because I know, and being there for my daughter-in-law when she was going through it, she was kind of stressed, and she was ready to rip people's heads off and cuss out the nursing staff and all that like this. So I wish I had you on speed dial. Dudla, where you at? I need you right now. Stat.
I would have came running. I would have came.
But something like that is needed.
Oh, gotcha.
Right. So how does someone want to get a hold of you if they want to, I'm pregnant and I'm going to be needing a doula here in about another, 22 weeks, 25 weeks. How can they get a hold of you?
Yeah, so you can definitely go to my website. It's www.dadtodudla.com. So that's www.dadtodudla.com. Or you can call or text me at 251-656-2166. Again, 251-656-2166. So you can definitely call me, text me, email me. There's a link on my website that says contact me. You can type in your information there. I'll get it, and I'll respond to you between 24 and 36 hours.
All right. We got a photo here of yourself here in your Dad's the Doula t-shirt, looking all spiffy. So let me ask you something. You're currently located in Huntsville, Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in, I don't know, Shreveport, Louisiana.
Okay.
I just saw the program. I need you. I want you. I don't want nobody else. I like what you were saying. I'm for everything that you're about. I want you as my doula. Mm-hmm. Would you go?
I would definitely go.
Okay.
I would definitely go. Yes, I will fly out there to you just to make sure that you are okay. We would definitely talk about cost and housing and everything like that. And so, yeah, I'll be there for you.
Hey, I tell you what, viewers, you heard it first here on what's happening now with CNI Solutions. If you know someone out there who is pregnant or going through postpartum depression and they need a doula, or you like what Juan is talking about today, reach out to him. His information is in the chat. His phone number is scrolling at the bottom of the screen. Hey, he's doing the things that I like to hear. I don't know if I particularly needed a doula when my kids was born, but I probably need one now because they are depressing the heck out of me. No, I'm playing. But hey, this is awesome. I mean, this is really, really awesome. I've never heard of this, and I'm sure that some of my viewers never heard of male doulas, and I love what you're doing, and I like your confidence. I like the confidence in what you're doing and how you are representing, and you're doing it for other men. Because there are other men who are going through these postpartum depressions that they don't know about, that they're experiencing. And someone like you can definitely be a need and a help for them in their corner.
Hey, Mr. Charles, I think if I'm not being a little too forward, that I want to invite Mr. Juan and Dad's to Doulas to that 7-on-7 baby shower. I think he would be a great benefit to our 7 months postpartum and 7 months pregnant, especially those women that's going through it that may need that support and may need to understand how to get the father on board with the support of her once that baby arrives.
Yes, ma'am. I could not agree with you more on that one. I definitely would love to invite you to come down to our 7 to 7 on the 25th of May.
Thank you.
It'll be here at CNI Solutions. We'll be doing it around between 1 and 4. Okay. And we plan on having, you know, a lot of guest speakers there to conclude yourself. OBGYN from the hospital is going to be there. We're going to have some other medical staff there. We're going to treat it. It's going to be treated just like a personal baby shower, but it's going to be for our community. There's going to be food. We're going to have, you know, refreshments for the ladies and for their significant other who's also going to be there to help out with that. So, hey, I definitely would love to invite you down there to help us with that. So, is there anything else that you would like to share with us and the viewers before we close this out, Mr. Juan?
Yeah, I'm actually going to be offering dad classes here in the Huntsville area soon. So it's called Fatherhood Fundamentals. We'll be covering things like how to care for your baby, how to nurture your baby, how to we're going to teach you how to swaddle. So all of those things that dads don't know, we're going to be teaching them that at our Fatherhood Fundamentals class. So be on the lookout for that.
Outstanding. And a quick question on that. Does that also include dads that may have had a child already, but really didn't know what the heck they were doing, and now they're about to have their second child? You know, is that class going to be something beneficial for someone like them?
Exactly. So it's for new and expecting dads, experienced dads, brand new dads, all dads.
I think I need to send my 2 sons down there like this. They still need help. I don't know what the heck going on with them boys. I don't know. Maybe I chewed too many rocks during their childbirth or something. Those rocks got implanted into their brains. Hey, Juan, I appreciate you coming out tonight and showing us some love and spreading this word and what you're doing. I love it. Definitely look forward to seeing you at the 7 to 7 community baby shower to help those moms who are going to be coming through. So please, any time that you need CNI Solutions, just look out for us. All right, look out to us, and we'll see what we can do to assist you. Okay.
Thank you guys so much.
All right. Hey, y'all heard it live here. Dads to Dudla with Mr. CEO Juan Irby. I love what this gentleman is doing, and if those who are pregnant and need a doula, please look him up. I think you will find that his services will be helpful. His services is great, and the fact that he cares. He has a genuine emotional care for males who are going through postpartum depression and the females as well. Okay, so don't forget, we have our big Easter Somebody Loves You event still coming up on the 28th of this month. It's going to be at 11 o'clock at the Robert Bob Harrison Senior Citizens for our senior citizen. We got a great show that we're going to be putting on. So if you can come out, please do come on out. And always remember, your yesterday is not your today, and your today is not your tomorrow. Good night.